This isn't a critique of the Dawnguard DLC for Skyrim, nor of the story or writing in specific. This isn't even a critique of Isran as a character. This is a critique of Isran as a vampire hunter. I fucking hate this guy. To touch on the writing and the character of Isran, he's shown to be paranoid throughout the DLC. That's fine, it's good actually. He also is apparently supposed to be competent. He, at the very least, seems to know what he's doing. It's hard to tell because of the bad writing in Skyrim whether he's supposed to be competent or if he's supposed to be an arrogant false expert. But I'm going to assume that he's supposed to be competent. That's what makes these flaws so frustrating to me. This is 100% all nitpicking, but this shit has made me mad for like 12 years now, and I'm finally going to vent that frustration. Firstly, and probably of the least consequence, he doesn't appear to have a neck guard. That leather ain't gonna do shit against a hungry vampire, man. Since the Dawnguard are apparently the only fuckers in Tamriel to use the crossbow in the last 215 years or so, it is reasonable to assume that they have access to people that can make stuff. I really don't feel like that's a stretch. Just make a steel collar, man. Not only would it be hot as fuck, wearing a metal collar would help you against a vampire trying to snack on you. Vampires have a calm spell that they can use to pacify someone even in combat. I know that they don't use it, but that's a limitation of the AI, I assume. A vampire could just walk up to Isran, calm him, and then suck him dry. Having a metal collar that is difficult to remove would buy someone a small amount of time, perhaps enough to break out of the hypnosis so that they might be able to escape the vampire's grasp. Fuck this guy, man. I hate him. Next, he uses a two-handed blunt weapon. There are actually three things wrong with this, if you can believe that. Firstly, imagine using blunt weaponry against non-skeleton undead. A vampire is animated, at least in part, by their magic. They don't really care if you break a bone, that'll probably just make them mad. If you want to cripple a vampire in melee combat, you're better off with a slashing weapon. You're better off trying to cut off a limb, or of course the head. Vampires are capable of regenerating their health pretty quickly in comparison to a normal human, so breaking their shoulder isn't really going to accomplish that much. Cutting their arm off would be much more effective. Also, the Dawnguard Warhammer isn't even silvered, it requires steel to upgrade it. Vampires are weak to silver sometimes. Thirdly, vampires don't like fire. You really should have a torch in the other hand. The weaker vampires would probably just not want to mess with you if they could avoid it, knowing that you'll just stick a fire in their face if they get close. The older ones would still have to be careful. Fuck this guy, man, I hate him. Finally, this is the big one. This is the one that's genuinely made me angry for years now. This motherfucker sleeps at night. Let me ask you a question. When are vampires more active? That's right, at night. When are you more likely to interact with a vampire? That's right, at night. If you've made yourself known as a person who intends to be a threat to vampire kind, when are you more likely to be attacked by vampires? That's right, at night. When would be the worst time for you to be attacked? That's right, when you're asleep. Given all of those things, when should a vampire hunter be asleep? At night? No, for fuck's sake, what is wrong with you, Isran? How the fuck have you survived this long? Fuck this guy, man, I hate him. Isran deserves to die for this incredible display of sheer incompetence.